Today is T-6 of the CAR-T treatment plan. It's 7:15 this morning and we're arriving. Start off with some blood work and then an operation to get a port. Update in a little bit.
Cool.
Okay, here we go. We got education today. This is Sweet Melissa.
Hello. So we're going to talk about some post-line teaching. You are actually going to have a triple lumen catheter right here. So remember I was telling you about your port, the lumen of your port, it's actually going to be too small to accommodate, but you can see the difference. So this is what your port actually looks like, and this is the lumen of the central line catheter that you're going to have. So huge difference. So the reason we do that is just so those stem cells, those nice healthy stem cells, they all get to you. We don't want to lose any of them. And we have a triple lumen here, just because you have more options. Everything is going to be through this line. This is going to be your lifeline. Once this line is discontinued, we're going to switch everything back over to your port. The only thing that you guys are going to be responsible for is really just paying attention to signs of infection and also signs of bleeding. Otherwise, the nurses are going to take care of everything with the line. We'll do your dressing change every 7 days, unless it's visibly soiled or it starts to come and done along the edges. They take care of all of that. You don't have to worry about line care, flushing, all that stuff. If that's something you're interested in after you're discharged from the hospital, we can talk about that and set up home health. But right now, the only thing I'm asking you guys to look for is just signs of infection and bleeding. Do you remember what your temperature would be for you to call us?
101.
No.
101.
That's bad.
100.
No again, but you're close. 100.4 is going to be the magic number in transplant. So if your temperature ever reaches 100.4 or greater, you're going to call it immediately. The only difference would be is if, let's say, your temperature is 100.2, but you're starting to have chills, you can just tell something feels off. I want you to call us anyway. Don't wait till it gets to be 100.4 or greater. The reason we make it so low is because if you're starting to have a temperature of that size, something's going on, either infectious or related to medication that we've given you maybe. I don't want you to waste any time. Never, ever, ever waste time. So there's someone that answers our phone 24 hours a day. So please do not wait. When things go wrong in transplant, they go wrong really fast. So you better call us. So 100.4 is the magic number. I'm going to give you a thermometer to take home, and I'll write that on the thermometer as well.
What's your phone number?
So, good question, sir. The BMT Clinic phone number is 813-745-7208. Press option 5 to speak with a live person.
All right.
And that number is going to be, again, your lifeline as well. If you need prescription refills, appointment changes, any questions, concerns, issues, always will be this number. Make sure you have this number in your phone if you don't already. You've seen this number is plastered all over the paperwork you've been given, but I always say put it in your phones now, because when you're in an emergent situation, you don't want to be scrambling trying to figure out who to call. So you let me know.
Keep going.
We'll make sure.
I'll multitask.
There we go. Perfect. Also, too, first 48 hours, no heavy lifting, nothing greater than 10 pounds, just because the pressure can can cause some bleeding and discomfort at the line site. So just be really mindful about how you're moving. ICE will be your friend, again, for the first 48 hours. I'm going to give you an ice pack. They'll give you one downstairs as well. At least keep it on every 20 minutes per hour. It really does help with the bleeding, tenderness, and swelling. So ICE is good. I'm sure they've told you at this point forward, no, we recommend no Tylenol because it can mask a fever. Have they given you a prescription for oxycodone? Sometimes they do. Just a heads up, if you need something, that's what we would give you, would be oxycodone. But obviously nothing, no like ibuprofen, Aleve, unfortunately things that actually would work really well for this kind of pain you can't take, just because the risk of bleeding, and it can also mask a fever. So just while you're in this beginning stage of transplant, just to avoid those medications. Any questions or comments so far?
Should I be taking the anticoagulant?
What are you taking?
Fragmin.
Are you off of it? So they'll let you know when to resume it.
Okay.
Your team, actually, when they come by today, they'll let you know. You have to hold that while you're getting your line placed, obviously, just because of the risk of bleeding. But usually within 24 hours, you can resume that medication. But they will clarify that with you. So we have some pictures here. This is what a nice happy line looks like. It's nice and clean, it's nice and dry. This is when I want you guys to call us. There's this little patch, you can't see it right here, but it's right here. It's called a bio patch. It's just an extra layer of protection we have that's permeated with a medication called chlorhexidine. So it goes right at your insertion site, which helps keep it nice and clean. But if you see that patch becomes completely saturated with blood, or if it's leaking out from your dressing, please call us. Again, risk of infection. If you have that moisture sitting there, not good for you. Plus, obviously, we want to clean it up and make sure it's still not actively bleeding. It is very common to have some bleeding at the site, especially for someone like you that's been on blood thinners. So I really want you especially just to keep a very close eye on it. A little bit of blood is okay and very normal, but again, if that patch is fully covered or if it's coming out of the dressing, call us right away. We're going to say, come on in, we're going to change your dressing. Okay? You may need a couple dressings in the beginning. Very, very normal. Just let us know how it's doing. Same thing would be as if you're home and the dressing's kind of coming up on the edges, it's really loose. We're going to say come on in because we don't want any germs getting into that dressing. We want it to be nice and clean and dry as possible. The last thing I'm going to go over is taking a shower. Did you guys by any chance get the press and seal?
I haven't yet.
Not yet? Okay.
Yeah.
You can get it anywhere. Drugstore, grocery store. We really recommend this. So while you're in the hospital, you'll have access to these. It's called an AquaGuard.
Right.
It goes right over the line side. Okay. Some people love these, but I feel like most people prefer the press and seal. It's actually very economical and it has a very nice seal on your skin and your line site. So obviously, I feel like neither way is 100%, but the biggest thing is just trying to keep it as clean and dry as possible. So if you're going to use the press and seal, we recommend you kind of double wrap it, and you would start from the shoulder blade and pull it all the way over the line. So you want to cover everything, lumens included.
Yep.
So that's our goal.
Okay.
But you'll have some trial and error, see which method works the best for you. Some people even like to use a towel and put it over it as well, just to give you a little extra protection from the water.
Okay, this is the final result of day 1. This is the new line I had installed today, and this is where I'll be getting the first chemo treatment tomorrow, first thing in the morning. So stay tuned, and we'll do day 2 tomorrow. Have a good night.